The number one secret to sticking to your study timetable. Hi, my name is Beanie Einstein. I'm the founder of the Student Mentor Center, an online mathematics academy that teaches students how to pass CSEC mathematics with active recall, as well as using the syllabus as a strategic tool. And today I'll be discussing how to stick to your study timetable. I know this is a huge problem for CXC students, which is why I'll be going over 3 steps on how to stick to your study timetable using the secret. An accountability mechanism. An accountability mechanism, as the name would suggest, is a mechanism in terms of a specific structure, a physical document that you have, or it could be, virtual, that keeps you accountable to your goals. And the way it keeps you accountable to your goals is by it being a tracker. So every time that you achieve a small chunk of it, then you will cross it out and you get to see your progress. And that progress is very good for motivation. So without further ado, let us get into the very first item. Okay, first thing first is knowing your goal. This is extremely important because it shapes your accountability mechanism. Remember, an accountability mechanism is that physical tracker that keeps you motivated because you get to see your progress. So an example of knowing your goal is exactly this. I will study 100 hours by the 23rd of July, 2022. That's a very specific goal, but we could get even more specific. What we could say is that I will study 100 quality hours by the 23rd of July, 2022. And this is important because I added in the word quality, which means that we get to define what does quality mean to you. You get to set up that criteria of success for yourself. Does quality mean that at the beginning you start with past papers, you do some flashcards in the middle, and then you end with past papers, or does it mean something else? What does quality studying mean to you? And again, this would play into studying effectively, something I will drop another video on. But right now, it's important for you to know exactly what is the goal that you want to achieve with your accountability mechanism. What is it that you're keeping track of? Now, let's go on to step number 2. Step number 2 is to break it up into manageable chunks. Now you're seeing this big, gigantic goal of 100 hours and wondering how you could do that. How can you do that? So the important part is doing it over a space of time. Imagine studying 100 hours in 5 days as opposed to studying 100 hours over a course of 30 days. The amount of hours you would have to study in every single day is different. The minimum amount of hours you would have to study every single day is different. So it's very important that you take this into consideration in every single thing that you do. So again, bringing it back to the goal that we had in mind, which is breaking it down into bite-sized chunks and ensuring that you are consistent. Consistency is an important part in creating a sticky study timetable. So now it's time for you to calculate. If your goal is 100 hours, determine how many hours do I have to achieve, how many days do I have to achieve that goal, and what is the minimum amount of hours you have to study per day. And you may not want to study every single day. So I know for me, I didn't study every single day. I took the weekends off. So identify what is the rest day for you and just, omit those days. So now we go on to part number 3. Step number 3, write it down and put it up. Write down your physical accountability mechanism on a piece of paper. So what I did specifically is I counted out the numbers 1 from 100. And of course, every single time that I studied 1 quality hour, I crossed it out of my accountability mechanism. The reason it is important to put it up in your physical environment is because it cues your environment that it's time to study. So when you walk in your room and it's saying, oh, let me just spend a little 5 minutes on my phone, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, or you're playing video games and like, oh, I'm seeing my physical study cue. It's time to get up. Let me get my hour of studying done today, and then I could go back and play my games or go back on Instagram. It's very important because to build that motivation and consistent motivation is important for consistency, even if it's just to start being consistent, and it keeps you along your journey. I remember from my accountability mechanism, I was seeing this 67, as in I studied 67 hours, and then it went up to 85, and then it went up to 100. And I just remember like seeing, okay, Bernice, the finish line is almost there. I'm seeing it in my mind. I'm seeing me crossing out the 100. And so that kept me going. And that is the motivation that you want when developing an accountability mechanism. It's as simple as one sheet of paper with numbers on it. Don't let this stop you from getting a 1 in CSEC mathematics. On the note of getting a 1 in CSEC mathematics, please allow me to reintroduce the Student Mentor Center, an online mathematics community that teaches students how to pass CSEC mathematics using active recall strategies as well as the syllabus as a strategic tool. If you're interested in finding out more, send me a comment or a DM on Instagram at Student Mentor Center. Again, that is at Student Mentor Center. Thank you and have a great evening or day or morning. Bye.